From Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas, this is the Grandpa and Pappy Show. Yes, indeed it is.
Just might be, huh?
It very well could be. Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show. Hope your week is going really well for you.
Yeah.
And that everyone out there listening is healthy and doing well and not going too broke with filling your car up with gas. It just keeps going up, Pappy.
That's a very sore subject for me.
Well, yeah, that big tank you're driving, I can understand. Holy mackerel.
Cost me $100 bill just to drive by a gas station anymore.
I heard that. Well, there was some good news this week. Yeah. There was a governor race in the state of Virginia, which is historically blue.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. The new governor is a Republican. The new lieutenant governor is a Republican. Yeah. And many of the state's representatives there for the state legislature are now Republican.
I guess that means all the Virginians are going to move to Texas now.
Well, I don't know, but
that's what happened in California.
We have been watching that very closely and monitoring it really closely, and the Democratic Party is in, should we say, scare mode right now. They know something's going on, and if the analysts are correct, Pappy, they're saying that this wave of Republicans coming in and taking over Virginia and almost the solid blue state of New Jersey, it's a sign for the 2022 elections.
Wonder who's going to run.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, doggies.
We'll see about that, but we'll keep an eye on it for you and see what is going on. If you're listening to networks other than CNN, MSNBC, and NBC, ABC, if you're listening to one of the reasonable networks that let you have the facts straight up, then you can find out what is actually going on in this great country of ours.
I'm a lot like most of the other Republicans. I'm just sitting back and waiting.
Just watching and waiting.
I know it's going to happen, but I don't know when.
One of the hot topics, Pappy, that is going around the country right now that everybody has an opinion on is Joe Biden, about a week and a half ago, stated that he wanted, or a source leaked it out, that Joe Biden is thinking about giving those families who were separated at the border $450,000.
To include automatic citizenship along with it.
That's what I heard.
What he said, but, you know, in this morning or last night's news, he said that was a lie.
A reporter hit him right between the eyes with it, and he absolutely denied it and said that is not true. But sources coming out today said, yes, it is. That over 900 families have applied to receive those benefits right now, and they're processing it, and they're thinking about paying them out of some emergency fund that Washington has.
It's called our back pockets.
Our back pocket either way fund. You look at it, but it has raised the ire of a lot of people around this country, including the two sitting here before you, because it just absolutely makes no sense to us at all.
I label that as much cheating of the bull.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's take a look at what you guys had to say. And some of them were colorful, and words were changed because it is, we try to keep it as family-oriented as we can here.
Yep.
Ron Silas told us this is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. They come into our country illegally, put themselves in harm's way, have no support for themselves, and our Democrats are wanting to give them $450,000. That is almost 4 times what I make in a year working my ass off. These libs are out of their minds. Ron, I agree with that. That's a perfect statement right there.
I'm thinking about hopping the fence and coming back in. I would settle for half of that.
No kidding.
Our buddy Bob Baker said there's got to be more to this than meets the eye. I agree, Bob. Why would the president even suggest such a gesture? Is he trying to provoke the American people? Is the powers that would be who control him trying to get rid of him? This just makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a good statement too. I
think it's all the above myself.
Yeah, all of the above. That is correct. What do you got there, Special K?
Well, I think there's a bill being presented in the chamber in the legislature that is trying to block these payments.
Yes, Senator Cruz.
I think Senator Cruz is the one that's introducing it.
You are correct.
Not for sure. Just wanted to put that out there.
Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Your input is always welcome here. Tommy Parker shouted out, "Let's go, Brandon." They're trying to stockpile votes. And Brett Baker said, "Send them all back home with no money. He's a jerk." Kelly Burns said, "That is all bull crap." I changed it. "There ain't no way." And Jerry Yates spoke up to say, "Man, it is freaking time we took our country back. Tyranny is what it is."
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about "Let's go, Brandon." Did you see that meme on Facebook this morning? Shows a picture of a high school somewhere called Brandon High. With a caption going, "I could just hear what the cheerleaders are having to say now."
Absolutely.
Mark Mason told us on YouTube that if they're seriously thinking of illegals before veterans and seniors, he should be impeached immediately. Well, that's exactly what they're doing, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Give a vet or a senior citizen $450,000 and see how they can make that stretch and have some relief. Come on, use your heads for a change.
Boy, that would be a great thing if we could get them to do that.
In a perfect U.S., that's the way it would go down, Mark.
Yep. Shirley Mills spoke her mind when she said, "I worked 50 years to be able to receive a Social Security check.
Yep.
And our stupid president is giving money away like it's water to the illegals that separated themselves from their families.
Yep.
If they want to hand out money, it should go to the people that will be paying for it.
Right.
And if they want to be citizens, they can learn English and pass the test to become a citizen, which they won't do because they'll get no more free money."
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like
Shirley, that is so prophetic. I love it.
It is, Cub. It's not like they didn't know what chances they were taking when they did this crap. You know, I mean.
Yeah, I know.
The illegals is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew they chanced imprisonment or rejection or whatever when they came over here. And for those idiots up on Capitol Hill to blame all this on Trump over the separation.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupido.
El stupido.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Alan Kramer told us on YouTube that he agrees with Shirley Mills, which I do as well. Look at the amount of money illegals are getting now from the federal government. Why must we have bilingual teachers in our schools? Should we have a teacher to teach English? That's where it's headed. Why must Americans cow down to people who come to our country illegally and have to pay the price tag for it?
Great question.
That is a damn good question. Hey, Washington, if you want to do the right thing, start by giving a significant raise to our senior citizens and improve the services and benefits for our veterans.
Bingo.
Amen.
You'll find the American people more in agreement. Just my take on it.
Well, there you go.
I agree with you, brother. That's
There you go.
very well said, Alan.
It is that.
Yep.
And our viewer, Paul Westfall from San Antonio, said, "I know this is late, and it makes it on your show, I hope, but look at the results of the governor election last night in Virginia,
Yep.
a state that went from blue to red. It did that because Americans of every status is fed up with the craziness coming out of our current administration. Perhaps it is a forewarning of what is to come in 2022 with Republicans sweeping the congressional races. Someone has got to stop this madness."
It's already in the works.
Man.
You know, and something that I'm wondering, I wonder how many of those votes in Virginia were cast by people that hopped the fence
I think a lot.
to Republican. I think that's what kicked them in the
Yeah, the progressives
Boutte.
fell in with the Republicans.
Yep.
And that's what caused the swing in votes. I can tell you that.
Yep.
That's for sure. Hey, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to tackle another very controversial thing that is going on and has made the news and has got a lot of people's dander up. Let's put it that way. Superman being a bisexual. We'll talk about it
Anyway.
when the Grandpa and Pappy Show continues right after this.
House for sale!
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home!
Available now.
House for...
I'm still laughing at Pappy from the last break. That's pretty good. We're going to talk about this because our friend out in Florida, Donna Briggs Moss, put on our Facebook group page that she had just seen this on the news, which was all over the news, that the new creator of Superman comics, quotes the original artist and the creator of Superman, has passed away. But they're bringing out the Superman comics again, but this time Superman is a bisexual. And Miss Moss politely said that she didn't appreciate that stuff being shoved down her throat as if it's supposed to be normal. And it's not normal to normal people. So that created, Pappy, shall we say, a firestorm?
Yeah, I did.
Of comments.
I was kind of perusing down through here before the show kicked off.
Stop and think about this.
mercy.
I mean, somebody, and you'll hear here in a minute, was talking about it's just another attack on the Americana and our way of life. You know,
It is, but and this is my stance on it. I don't agree at all with homosexuality. Now, what I do agree with is this big old world has got room for all walks of life. Just like a lot of our viewers said, just do it, if that's what you want to do, but, don't expect me to raise my kids believing that. So.
well, that's true. And I'll tell you what, you and I both have some gay friends.
Yeah. Good people.
They're
Love to
very
death.
good people, and we're very fond of them, but they don't try to push their agenda on anybody.
They don't.
We were visiting with a couple of friends on Saturday night, and this subject came up, and they were saying the same thing. They're tired of all the TV shows, all the Hollywood movies coming out depicting that this is absolutely normal, and they know it is not.
Yeah.
So they were sick of it. They were sick and tired of it, and man, it got into an interesting conversation.
I bet it did.
Let's just put it that way.
I'm kind of glad I missed out on that one. I'd have probably had another kink in my nose.
I will say we started off the comments with a bang. Alexander Schmidneck told us his opinion that it is normal and acceptable. I'm sure you're one of the types that thinks homosexuals can be fixed. Cindy Gail Roberts Thomas told Alexander, "Why are you always stirring the pot? No one cares what you think. We are all entitled to our own opinions. You're a pimple on the butt of society." These two had a lively debate, believe me, and kept it somewhat civil. And if you want to see the entire context of all of the replies and answers to Alexander's comment, you can go on our Facebook group page and see it for yourself.
I think Alexander's blowing smoke up somebody's backside. I think he's like me. He just wants to stir the pot up a little bit.
He does. He does.
Our buddy Crawdaddy Crawford Young told Alexander that I love plenty of people, but I don't promote, condone, or agree with their ways, and I don't want them pushing their ways on children.
Bingo.
Loving someone doesn't mean you have to accept their ways as your own. You're generalizing way too much, trying to get under people's skin. You can't fix someone if they don't want to be fixed.
Now that is a great point.
It is.
Right there.
Well said, Crawford.
It's
Well
just
said.
like a drug addict, if I may use that as an analogy.
Yeah.
If they don't want to get straight, they're not going to get straight.
Well,
You can't fix them if you can't help them or fix them if they don't want it.
It's just like anything else, amigo. I mean, pro-choice.
Yeah.
I don't believe, and this is probably going to stir some crap up. I do not, within any fiber of my being, believe that you are born homosexual.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that.
Right.
You have to have something. You have to have something to sway that. I mean, you have to make a rational thought to change your lifestyle.
Right.
You know?
Well, I really don't
Even
know.
as a child. You know?
I have my own firm beliefs and things that I do believe on based on how I was raised. And you just don't erase that after years. And our friends that I was talking about or talking to Saturday night that happened to be gay, I told them, I said, I've come a long way. I mean, I'm just an old country boy, and Lord have mercy, I did not like gays. I thought it was all crazy. But then we got to meeting some that were not what we call flaming, if you will, and try to push their agenda on you. They're just average people.
They
just
are.
out to have a good time. They're just attracted to one another. And as long as they leave me alone and don't try to force their agenda on me, live and let live. I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner. The man upstairs is. And
Well, that's what Pop used to tell me.
Yeah.
What part of Sodom and Gomorrah don't you understand, boy? I said, why you
your
telling
dad,
me?
I'd love to met your dad. He's got so many good sayings. I love
He
it.
was a character. Oh, mercy.
Well, our viewer from Louisiana, Marcus Redding, told us if people want to live alternative lifestyles, that's okay with me. Just do it. However, by trying to shove this down our throats on every TV show and movie out today, it's absolutely absurd. Try explaining to a 5-year-old why 2 women are kissing on a show we watched, especially if you don't agree with that lifestyle. Hollywood and now the comics are trying to force their agenda down our throats as being normal, and it is not.
Well,
There you go.
Alicia Marie Nielsen told us, I think it's sad that my son has to grow up in this crazy world. I think that everyone is entitled to their own opinions and choices, but do not shove those choices down our throats. Just my opinion. And my brother Joe Mosier says it's definitely a sad state of affairs that we have gotten ourselves into. God help us. Johnny Northcutt just called them the morons. But I mean, it's,
Boy, cuz.
I think it's all in how you're raised. I mean, something has to influence you to not be straight or to be gay or whatever. And it's to me, it's pro-choice. If that's what you want to do, do it.
Man, you could go on and on and on and argue until next week
I mean, we're
on
not.
this subject, but the bottom line for me is I don't know enough about it. I hear science say that they have some kind of gene or something like that they're born with. I don't know any of that.
It's between your ears.
I have
think,
no clue.
Just like anything else.
Gerald Plunkett said he shared his opinion with us by saying it is sad that an iconic American hero gets tagged as being gay. Why? I don't understand why everything has to be turned gay, bisexual, or homosexual. Who's next? Batman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, or G.I. Joe? We grew up with these, so don't distort their images. Sherry Briggs Cone simply said, Amen, brother.
John Underwood said, I guess there are no gay graphic artists, gay writers, or gay cartoonists that could come up with a gay character on their own. Making the already established world-renowned Superman gay seems kind of lazy. Don't let Superman hear you talk that way. Didn't want to put in the real work or didn't think a new character would fly? Pun intended.
Pun intended. I love that.
Up and away.
Paul Patterson said it's just another way that the liberal leftists and all of their cronies are attacking all of the things that we grew up and believed in. I also heard there is a push to change Superman's logo from fighting for truth, justice, and the American way to truth, justice, and everyone's way. I did hear that. I surely did, Paul. How stupid is that? Create your own superhero. Maybe he can be wearing a purple cape, pink tutu, and orange leotards.
Not even gay people dress that way, okay?
Well, I don't know. Some of them I've seen. Some of them I've seen.
It depends on what depends on what part of town you're in, I guess. Shirley Mills told us, I totally agree. People can be who they want to be, as far as I'm concerned, but I don't think it's appropriate to flaunt it in public or on cartoons. I also think straight couples should flaunt their sexuality in public. Well, I went to jail over that one time, cuz. There's a time and place.
We have stories.
Yeah, we do. There's a time and place for everything, and in my face is not one of them. Belinda Tatum agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I have a point.
What do you got there, K-Bird?
Well, ever since they started letting sexuality, straight sexuality on the TV, that's where it started. Is they've let so much sexuality come into our TV and everything that we do that it's now they have to have this. So that's all I'm saying. If they would have never take all sexuality out, don't have anybody having relationships on a TV show or in a commercial or anything like that.
By God.
Oh,
Then you won't have this controversy.
I never knew what gay or homosexuals were until I got in high school.
Yeah, I always heard gay men got age yet. Crickets.
Well, there you go. Jim Krause
Just
said the new
joking,
artist said he couldn't pass up this chance to break new ground.
Yeah.
Sheesh. It's becoming pretty overplowed ground as far as I can tell. Michael Westfall agreed, saying, I saw that same thing and I feel as Jim feels. Alternative lifestyles is the choice of some, and that is their right. But remember, the vast majority of Americans do not feel that way, and no, it is not normal.
I wonder what Lois Lane would say.
Oh, boy.
She's probably pissed off. Susan Saunders told us, I will say it again. I don't care who or what you do as long as you keep me out of it. Everyone has a right to their own opinions. What I don't agree with is stupidity from others. Yeah, okay, they're making a gay Superman. Isn't that up to the parents to teach their children how the world is? Isn't it up to the parents to not teach their children ugliness towards others? Again, just an opinion. Philip Charles Day had an opposing opinion, but due to the nature of his words, we won't read them here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see that on our Facebook group page, too.
I did.
Crawford Young told Susan that everything you said is true, but isn't the complete answer in my opinion. Children are very impressionable by many sources, especially television. Children want to be accepted by their peers, so if this gay Superman is the latest and coolest thing, then some kids could be influenced by it and start going under the cape, so to speak. It is normal for some kids to question or go through a stage where they're not sure about their sexual identity. They are very vulnerable at this time in their life, and it's too easy for some gay agenda to take advantage of the young children. Not all kids have structure and guidance at home. In fact, many kids don't get the parenting they need, so it takes a village to raise them.
Yep.
These kids are very vulnerable. Now, Crawford had some other things to say, but too many to include here, and you can read those also on our Facebook group page.
Yeah, very profound, Crawdaddy.
Absolutely.
John Bossy agreed with Crawford many years ago before the corporate takeover and divestiture of KKR. I worked for R.J. Reynolds. Philip Morris had created the Marlboro Man to create an image for the product to attract 16 to 20-year-old men, and the Marlboro Red Box was number one in most of our markets. Well, it was a little older genre age-wise, because my mom was in love with the Marlboro Man. RJR countered with the campaign, Take Down the Cowboy, and Camel, an old brand whose loyalists came from free cigarettes in World War II, were dying off. Camel was reinvented with Joe Camel. And then the hard pack. Marketing affects everyone, especially young, impressionable minds that feel the need to fit in. And I've got a pine box full of that Joe Camel stuff. I started collecting.
Yeah, I do remember that. I really do.
Joe Camel's cool.
Yeah. Jerry Williamson says, nothing from the woke surprises me anymore. Deidre Tedford Smith said, me too. And Sandra Layla Armistead told us this is absolutely bullcrap. I hope the movie is boycotted. And Sherry Briggs Cone said, it is all very sickening.
Well, it won't be boycotted. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah, can you just imagine the trailer for
I'd
the voice? I mean, we won't go there.
That's right. Stop it. And to close out this segment, too, on this week's Grandpa and Pappy Show, Mark Taylor Green said this has been some interesting comments on an interesting subject. It is evident that it has struck a nerve with a lot of people, and I totally understand it. For the record, I'm gay and don't apologize for it. However, my friend and I do not flaunt it in public. I do know there are many more straights than gays.
And that's very good. That's a very good comment.
Well said, Mark. It really was. I respect your point of view.
Very, very well said. And you know, the debate on this is going to go on and on and on.
It is.
Just like the debate is going to go on about the $450,000 that our illustrious president is wanting to give to illegal immigrants separated at the border, their families.
Yeah.
During the Trump years.
Yeah, so,
Damn
yeah.
Trump.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Somebody mentioned in our first segment, it's about time we take our country over, and if they don't start changing things and inflation keeps going up, gas keeps going up, and
It's going to get deep.
It's going to get deep, and I think you're going to see an uprising that's going to make January the 6th look like a mini convention.
Isn't it so?
We had a couple of viewer comments that we want to talk to you about that we received this week as we close out our show today. Tommy Lesser said on YouTube that he enjoyed our show. Tim O'Hara, who is the candidate for county judge. He says, I learned a lot about what a county judge does, and he seemed to know what he was talking about. I also liked his ideas. And I think...
Just as we do right here at the Grandpa and Pappy Show, by
that's
God.
what I started to say. I think he shares the same opinion that you and I did. I mean, I learned a lot.
I did too.
By listening to Tim, and he was so gracious to explain things to people.
Well,
and not just cut through the chase, you know, and
it's because he cares.
That's exactly correct.
He cares, and
That's
I mean,
exactly.
all he was doing is telling it the way it is, you know, and the way it should be.
That's true.
And he's got my full support.
Yes, he does.
He's a sharp cookie. Last but not least, John Claiborne wrote in to say, "Hey fellas, I noticed your post saying you had a program removed by YouTube and Facebook." Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
If you were simply talking about either getting vaccinated or terminated, that was BS to take it down. I think you need to approach the subject again.
Well, we have thought about it, and we'll think about it some more.
How do you
We'll just have to give it a different title.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we can get booted off by making some comments about the FDA approving shots for children.
Yes, we can, and
it's here.
We may be asking that question on our Facebook page coming very soon.
Yep.
Hey, if you have an idea or a suggestion, maybe a idea for a program, it's very simple. Over my shoulder, you see here how you can do it. You can send your ideas to grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
That's a good way.
Or
you can hit us up on our show website page at www.grandpapappy.com. It's grandpaandpappy.com, where you see a big old red button, right, that one right there. Push it. Won't cost you a thin penny. Won't even cost you very much energy. Subscribe. We're numbers driven. We love subscribers, and we love your input, and we'd love truly having you on board with us.
Or you can go to our Grandpa and Pappy Facebook page, group page, where you'll see most of the answers that make it to our show on questions that are posed in the day.
Right.
We hope you had a great time. We did. We thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be a part of the Grandpa
You
and
guys
Pappy
rock.
Show.
Y'all rock.
We always end our show by telling you to reach out, hug your kids, and let them know that you love them.
And we'll always convey this message too. They're well loved right here on the G&P
Right
show
here.
too, by God, amigo.
Absolutely. Hey, till we see you guys again, take care of one another.
Yeah.
It don't cost anything to be nice. God bless you and God bless America. Till we see you again, have a great week, everybody. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.